For today's project, I wanted to do a Christmassy themed art journal page, but with a little bit of quirk and a little bit of whimsy thrown in. So to do that, I've created this new digikit, which I'm calling Mona Christmas. Obviously, we're using images from the Mona Lisa, so you've got the full kind of painting there, but I've also provided you with a cutout version of her, but I've also given you a version of her wearing a red dress rather than the traditional black. This makes her a little bit more Christmassy in my book. I've also given you a little pair of angel wings. There's some little cutout presents if you want to put some presents on there, and there's also a couple of phrases: be agnatic, believe in magic, or wishes come true. And there's also a Santa hat. Now this is going to be up to you how you put yours together. I'm not going to, I might actually use the full image here and then overlay Mona Christmas with a red dress over the top of that, so we've still got the background, and then I'm going to introduce the wings in there. So the first thing I need to do, oh sorry, I forgot to mention, didn't I? There's also an 8x8 Christmassy kind of wooden or distressed wooden background with some faded holly and berries in the corners and the words Christmas and believe just in there, kind of subtly in the background. So I'm going to use that as my background on the sheet, and then I'm going to build my image over the top. So the first thing I need to do is to cut out the bits that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out, and once I've done that, I'll be right back. That's if I can find my scalpel. There it is, hidden away. Oh! Back in a mo. Okay, so those bits are all cut out and ready for me to go. Now, I forgot that there was actually a second set of phrases, if you like, on the other sheet. So the other set is Sparkle and Twinkle, as you can see, Secretive Santa, and His Wishes Were Wings. So I think for this one, I might use the Secretive Santa, because she has got that kind of enigmatic twinkle in her eye, but I'm turning her into Santa, so she's kind of secretive because it looks like she's holding a little secret, doesn't it? So yeah, but I may change my mind. So I might go for Sparkle and Twinkle. I might go If Wishes Were Wings. I don't know, haven't decided quite just yet. So I'm going to put them to one side. I'm not going to need those two bits because I'm only going to put the one set of presents on there. So what I need to do now is just grab in a vintage photo distress marker. I just want to go around all the edges just to hide those white raw edges, because my arthritis is playing up today. My elbow is hurting, something chronic, so my cutout hasn't been the best because of the pain. So I'm going to go around just to hide all those raw edges, and I'm going to do this to all of them apart from the base layer, because that doesn't really matter. And if you really wanted to grunge yours up and really dirty it all, go around with a bit of distress ink with a foam if you want to, but I'm not gonna. So she's exactly the right size to fit over the top, which is perfect, because that's going to allow us to layer and create our new whimsical little image that we're going to build up with her. So right, I'll finish doing this with the edges for all the rest, and then I'll join with you again when I'm done. Okay, so I've gone around the edges of everything now to get rid of those raw white ones, apart from the edge on the fur on the Santa hat. Don't think it really needs it on there. So just pop all my bits and pieces to one side, and now I've cut this, or this piece on the sheet when you print it, will print just slightly shy of 8 inches, just so that there is a little bit of a border all the way around. But if you really wanted to, you could go back and you could actually tear this to get that kind of rough edge if you want to. I'm not going to. So all I'm going to do is just grab some glue. This is more of a collage page rather than a painted page. So I'm not really going to put a lot of paint effects on this one. There will be a little bit of glitter and there will be a little bit of paint, but not a huge amount. I'm not going to go mad with stenciling and layering on this because, you know, it doesn't really need it. That's not the idea of the page. It's a collage page more than anything. But adding a little bit of paint on here will be appropriate, as you will see. Right, so I've got a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. Just to go around. So that should stick on that quite nicely. Just give it a little bit of a push down, just to get rid of any air bubbles, and then we're fine. So, talking of paint, I'm going to use my Carnival 1 stencil, and I've got some gesso. So all I want to do is just to give it a shake. So I've got some of that. I always get dried bits on there. It's nasty. Just get rid of that. Yeah. Oh. Ow! Oh, just stretched my elbow. It hurts. Anyway, right. So I'm going to use gesso because I don't want it to be totally opaque. So I'm just going to load a little bit of gesso up with a little sponge, an artist sponge. Now this can be any kind of like bath sponge that you buy. That's got a fairly close grain, really inexpensively, from any kind of drugstore, supermarket, and then just cut it up into little pieces. So I'm just going to add it there, put a little bit out this side, just to kind of break that wood up a little bit. And some of this is going to get covered up, but I don't mind that. So heavier in some areas but not in others, and then just down here I think a little bit more on the sponge, just work it in and then just bring it down where that word Christmas is on the paper. And I think that's going to do me. That'll do. Doesn't need to be, you know, in your face or anything like that. Just a subtle layer in the background is all that it needs. Just grab a baby wipe. Because you've used a very, very thin layer of gesso over paper, which is a porous surface, it shouldn't take that long to dry. I'm going to have to bring my bin a lot closer to me. Around the other side. My left elbow that's playing up today with the arthritis. So I don't want to be stretching over, so I've put the bin to my right, which makes it a lot easier. Okay, so it shouldn't take a lot of drying. Okay, so that's dried. It didn't take long at all. So what I'm going to do now is just going to prepare my next layers. So for this one, I want to just bring in some distress ink, and I'm just going to go around the edges just to kind of make it a little bit darker. Excuse the wobbly noises in the background. One of these days I will secure my other bookcase and secure this table to the wall. Okay, so that's just added a little bit more grunge there. I've got some pieces of music paper that I also want to use. So this is just from stash. This isn't part of the kit. And I'm only doing the top and the right side, and on this one I'm just going to do the left side and the bottom. Okay, like that. And then this piece of Christmas paper, I'm going to just tear right down the middle. This is from a very, very inexpensive paper stack that I purchased recently. Actually, I need to do that side, don't I? And it was really, really inexpensive. Very, very inexpensive. Go around the edges there. I'm just going to go around all of them because I can't decide which way around I'm going to put this piece of paper. But there we go. That should do, I think. And I'm just wondering, while I've got the distress ink out, whether I should just bring the wings in. I think I might do, just to add a little bit around those wings. Not a lot. I've already gone around with a pen. But it might just help just to unify stuff together. If all your elements have got a little bit of distress to them, then it helps to, if you've got elements from different magazines or different kits or different sets, if you apply the same treatment to all of them, then it kind of helps to bring them all together to make it look as though they match. If that makes sense. I'm sure it does. To somebody, somewhere. Okay, so we've got our backing piece. So what I want to do is I want to take a little piece of that, a little piece of that, and just layer it up into the corner like that. Yeah, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. So we'll put just a little bit of glue there and lay that piece over the top just to create a bit of a frame, like so, and then just add some glue there. And then take my picture and then just lay that over the top. And then do the same thing with the bottom piece. Add a little bit of glue. Lay that over the top. Just so there's a bit showing. And then add some more. And then I can lay my picture over the top that way, just leaving enough showing to get that hint, like so. That'll do for me. So I'm going to give that a moment or two to dry, like that. I'm going to get this cleaned up and then I'll be right back. Okay, so they've had enough time to dry now, so I'm just going to turn that over, grab some more glue, and then just go around the edge. Just so we know that there's going to be enough, just to tack it down. Turn it over, and then we can lay that down where we want it. That's about there. I'm going to put this just at a slight angle. There. Let's push that down, and again, just give it a quick roller. Just to make sure that the glue has moved freely underneath, and then we can just go back in where you want to and just pick up and ruffle up those few edges if you want. Just to give it that little bit of 3D, that little bit of dimension. Just to curl those edges. There we go. Okay, so the next bit, I want to stick the wings on our Mona. So I think we're going to put them quite high up, tilt them so they're just about there. I think that is going to be the right kind of position, just to lay them back down like so. So this is why I wanted to layer it up. I think they're going to work quite nicely as they are there. So let's just grab some more glue, and then I can lift that up, just add some to the back. And you can see on the back of this I did already print one, it wasn't quite right, so I just turned the card over and just used the other side. It's going to get glued down, so nobody's going to know. Right, so we said about there, didn't we? Push that one down, and then do the same thing on this side. And then kind of even that so it's not going over the edge, but just about there. And then we can layer our Mona image back over the top. Perfect, absolutely perfect. So again, glue, and this time we go all the way around. There we are. Because we have got a little bit of wiggle room on this, that's quite good. So we can top and then just line up the contours of her hair with the contours of the edge of her dress, and then just push, and then just very lightly just run your brayer, or smooth it with your fingers. Perfect, loving this. And then the hat. Okay, so if we position that around about there, love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't decide whether to put the presents there or put the presents there. I think I'm going to put the presents there, just in that bottom left hand corner, bottom right hand corner. Don't know my left from my right today. Okay. So if we put the presents just there, then we can put that to one side, let that dry, then we can decide on what or which one of the phrases we're going to want to use on the kit. So I'll leave that to one side and then I'll be back when I've decided. Okay, so I decided to go with that secretive Santa saying. So I cut it out and I've just created a quick kind of fishtail effect to make a little bit of a banner. And I'm just going to grab some distress ink I'm just going to go around the edges just to grunge it up a little bit. That should do us. Just clean that out of the way. Thank you. Okay, so flip that over, bring my page back in. A little bit of glue. And then I'm going to put that just about there. Bring it in. Yep, I like that. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of Christmas whimsy. And we all need some whimsy at Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed watching me put that collaged art journal page together. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, then you're going to miss out because I've got some more videos for Christmas coming right up. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.